Namo Amitabha Buddha. So some people may say, why do I bother gaining rebirth to the Pure Land? Why do I want to exit the cycle of reincarnation? And what does that even mean anyway? So today I'd like to share about why we should gain rebirth to the Pure Land. First, we must realize that in this world, whatever we own, whatever we have, it's all very short-lived. It's all subject to impermanence here. We don't know what will happen even tomorrow. Some people say, I have great family here, I have my loved ones, I don't want to leave this place. This is amazing. But the thing is, we all have to die one day. Whatever we have here is temporary and it is impermanent. So there is really a lot of sufferings here in this existence. First, death is suffering, separation with loved one is suffering, illness is suffering. As long as we stay in the cycle of reincarnation, we will always subject to this endless suffering. We are subject to death, we are subject to impermanence, we are always subject to the separation with loved ones. So whatever we have here is impermanent, like what Buddha says, illusions. All the conditioned phenomena in this world are all illusions, which means they don't last long. So there is no permanent happiness as long as we live here, unless we become enlightened. In order to transcend the cycle of death and rebirth and to liberate from all sufferings in life, there are two ways. First, we become enlightened in this life, in one lifetime. If we don't become enlightened again, we are subject to karma, and then we are subject again to death and rebirth. And the thing is, we don't even know if we will come back as a human. It's actually very rare to be in a human body. And for those of us who reincarnate back successfully as a human, congratulations for winning the lottery in the cycle of reincarnation. It is really rare actually to be in a human body. So we've actually done very well. Even the human rank is considered to be a relatively good rank in the 6 ranks of reincarnation, but we still see so much sufferings here, so many deaths happening every day, so many accidents. We don't even know what will happen to us. So life for us is really in a moment of breath. So that is why we should not hold on to anything. We should not be attached to anything in this world, because nothing is permanent. It's always subject to change. We suffer because we think they are real, because we want what is impermanent in nature to be permanent. That's why we are suffering, because we are holding on things that are illusional. So in order to liberate from all sufferings in life, first we can obtain enlightenment. So the base level of enlightenment is to be non-attached, totally non-attached to whatsoever happens in this world. In that way, we will not be suffered, as our state of mind is free from attachment. But this is very, very difficult to do. So if we can be enlightened like a Buddha in one lifetime, then Pure Land is in the here now. Actually, Pure Land is a state of mind. So if we can have the ability to obtain enlightenment, and also to the state of non-regression, which means we will not fall back no matter what. Sometimes people think they obtain enlightenment, but if they have not obtained a high state of enlightenment to the state of non-regression, they fall back in any second. Even the very thought that, oh, I'm enlightened, this makes them unenlightened instantly, because that is the ego identification with this state. Even if one reaches this state, one will not think so. The ego will not be here. One will not even be attached to this state. It is tremendously difficult for any being to obtain enlightenment, especially during Dharma Decline age, the time where Buddha has already passed 2,000 years after. So at the time of Buddha, there were a lot of people who could obtain enlightenment because they are directly under the guidance of the Buddha. But now Buddha is very far away from us, and it is rare to find good enlightened masters here on earth. Probably very, very few, if any, if we are lucky enough to meet them. And if we are intelligent now, we could actually obtain enlightenment in one lifetime. But this is extremely difficult for most people. But fortunately, there is another way. The second way is to first gain rebirth to Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land. This method was taught to us by Sakyamuni Buddha. This is the only method that amongst all the practices in this whole world that allows us to liberate from all sufferings in life without obtaining enlightenment. So what we do is by chanting the name of Amitabha Buddha repeatedly at the time of death, Amitabha Buddha and other bodhisattvas will come to receive us, and our consciousness will leave this physical body and to obtain rebirth in the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss. It's a land with no suffering and all bliss. When we arrive there, we will obtain infinite life, and we will also obtain enlightenment and realize Buddhahood really quickly. And if we want to come back to earth, we can actually come back in any time and also travel to different worlds. So when we come back, we will not just be like an ordinary being who is subject to suffering. We will come back as a Buddha to teach Dharma, or we can go to different other worlds to experience life and spread the teaching of Dharma. So think of the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss is the best land in this universe. Also for studying, it's a land of enlightenment where a lot of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas all reside there. And if we gain rebirth there, we will also become a Bodhisattva, a high level of enlightened beings really quickly, and eventually we will realize Buddhahood very soon due to infinite life. Also, we will be studying under the guidance of Amitabha Buddha. So some people say, but I'm so compassionate, I want to stay here in the cycle of reincarnation to help more beings. But the thing is, unless you obtain high level of enlightenment, that you have the ability to transcend the cycle of rebirth and death, then you can stay here. But if you don't have this ability of a Buddha, then what the Buddha recommends is for all of us, including the high level of enlightened beings, to first gain rebirth to the Pure Land, because it helps to accelerate the process of us realizing Buddhahood, which is the ultimate enlightenment. And then we can come back in this world in any moment as a Buddha, like a Buddha, or we can travel to all different other worlds to teach Dharma. So this is really the way to ultimate complete freedom, to eternal happiness. As long as we stay in the cycle of reincarnation, there is no such thing as eternal happiness, unless you are enlightened at a high level of enlightenment. Otherwise, we will always be subject to suffering. Suffering is endless. If anything is permanent, it's suffering in this world. Happiness is temporary in this world. Unless we can first gain rebirth to the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss in one lifetime, there we will obtain enlightenment and realize Buddhahood quickly, and we can come back to earth again to help more beings, or we can be in different worlds to help others. So that is why we should all aspire for rebirth in this lifetime. And if you really love your family and loved ones, you should also share this message to them. If you want to stay with them forever, then you should also tell them about this method, or otherwise there is no such thing as forever in this world. What is forever is at most 80 or to 100 years, and then after that it's just a goodbye, and everybody will reincarnate in their own separate way. We will not remember each other, we don't remember what happened in the past, and then we come back to another different form, or different human or animal, or in the ghost realm or the hell realm. We don't know. If we want eternal, everlasting happiness with no suffering and complete freedom to be anywhere in this universe, to realize Buddhahood, our ultimate potential, then that is where we should be. Namo Amitabha Buddha.